Now let's bring in CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata. Charlie, thanks for joining us. The president is weighing U.S. military involvement. So what is the latest on U.S. military preparations so far?
Well, you know, the military is always preparing for war. That's what the Pentagon does. That's what the DoD does. But they are certainly flooding the zone with multiple assets. There's the USS Carl Vinson carrier strike group, and with it, a ton of destroyers. There are at least 6-7 destroyers. There are a couple in the Mediterranean, a couple in the Red Sea, all around that area. And as was mentioned before, those destroyers have already been involved in intercepting incoming weapons, incoming missiles from Iran. So in a way, they've already been part of the defense of Israel, but they haven't taken any offensive measures. In addition to that, they're sending another carrier strike group, the Nimitz, which has been repositioned there from the Indo-Pacific. That gives another opportunity and assets. And in addition to that, a third carrier, not quite headed to the Middle East area, but to Europe, and that's the USS Gerald R. Ford. And with all of those carrier strike groups, they come with cruisers, they come with destroyers, and they come with aircraft. Importantly, F-18 aircraft, F-35 aircraft, several platoons. We've also confirmed that there are more aircraft headed there, F-16s and F-22. So really, the military is toothed up. And as the Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, told Congress and as advising President Trump, it's all about providing those options. So when there is a potential for a military strike, or most importantly, the defense of as many as 40,000 U.S. troops spread out throughout the Middle East, there are options available, and those options have to do with the military assets that are in place. We don't have 2 carrier strike groups there yet. The second one is still in the Indo-Pacific region. It is headed there. That might figure into the calculus of the timing should something happen. And again, it all has to do with the defense of troops there. There are troops that are relatively exposed, U.S. troops that are in Iraq that have been hit before after the assassination of Soleimani, came under a ballistic missile attack. There are also U.S. troops in northern Iraq around Erbil in that area. But again, tons of bases throughout Kuwait, the UAE, etc., all within easy reach of Iran.
And Charlie, I think you literally just answered my next question there, because Iran's supreme leader has warned that if the U.S. gets involved, its military will retaliate. Can you walk us through just how vulnerable U.S. bases in the region are?
Yeah, so I have to kind of break that down onto 2 levels. First of all, the Iranians have been saying this for a long time, but we also have intelligence sources who say what they're saying is true. There is information that the Iranians are pointing missiles and weaponry toward U.S. bases and interests. So for instance, if you're going to talk about places like Kuwait or Bahrain, where the 5th Fleet is based, it's going to be bristling with air defenses, and those are in other countries. The Iraq bases are more vulnerable, and they have come under attack before because, quite frankly, they're not that huge, right? So you get about maybe 2,500 troops there, and they don't have, I can't say they can be overwhelmed, but they are more vulnerable to being overwhelmed in their air defenses because you've got drones, you've got ballistic missiles, and you've got some air defenses in place. But it's also been pointed out to me, and this is very critical, that there are Iranian-backed proxies throughout Iraq. Places like Syria, the Houthis are the obvious ones because they've become, sort of center stage. So there's the possibility of an attack. There's a possibility that the Iranians might mine the straits around that area. So you'd be worried about a state actor like Iran with ballistic missiles. You'd also have to be concerned about Iranian-backed proxies, where you're talking, mortars, car bombs, anything that they can reach them, because there are a lot of bad actors in that area in Iraq that have in the past tried to attack U.S. forces there.
Wow. Charlie D'Agata, as always, thank you so much for your insight. We appreciate your time today.